podcast, and we are live. Let me know if you guys see me because my stream deck is acting up right now, but we gonna see. Hold on one second. A lot of things are going on in boxing again. More drama. Boxing has become the love and hip hop of the entertainment business, right? We have now Victor Conte calling bullshit on Kid Schofield, saying he's not really sick. There's a lot of things going around. You got Tito MERCADO calling out SHAKUR Stevenson, and I got a special guest. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Coming on right after this. Here we are. All right, so everything looks like it's going. Everything looks like it's running right now. Let me introduce my my co-host for the evening. You guys know the lovely Troy Hamza. You're pretty lovely. You're pretty lovely. And of course, please introduce yourself, young lady.
It ain't the evening, it's the morning.
Please introduce yourself, young lady.
Christine Lopez from In the Ring with Christine. Most known for our podcast, Women Crushing It Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
Yeah, I've seen a couple things. I've seen you guys interviewing Terrence Crawford. I've seen you guys had a bet. What was the bet about? I didn't even get to see the whole thing. I seen the clip. What was that about?
Oh, it was that I could beat him in Jenga. I'm a Jenga master. And he thinks he can beat everybody and everything, but not that. He can't beat me in that.
Really? You know what's crazy? I thought because it seems like you're of Mexican descent, I thought you were referring to Canelo beating him September 13th. That's what I thought.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Oh, no.
Wait, hold
Canelo
on.
will not beat him.
You got Bud beating.
I have Bud. I am Mexican descent. And I have Bud beating Canelo.
You should be ashamed of yourself right now. This is Are you serious? Please tell us why.
And I'm black and I'm Cuerno de Chivo.
Oh my goodness. Look, listen. I just know that Bud can adapt to any boxer. We've seen him adapt to anybody that's been put before him. He is a master at his craft. He lives the life. He lives the life. He doesn't have an off day or a day where he's going to go drinking cervezas, in the cantina, eating tacos and all that stuff. He doesn't have a day off. And mentally, I believe he's even stronger than Canelo, if you can believe that.
I mean, Troy, do you have a response to that? Because I got Canelo winning the fight as well. I mean, please.
Ooh.
My only response is that even though Bud is my man, Bud, I love you. We talk all the time. I just never seen all of that skill at 175 against a 175 pounder.
160, yep.
And if I would have seen that, then I would understand where she's coming from. But if I could see that at 175, everything that you're displaying, because I know Bud and Steve and those guys, but that weight is just a lot. Because I trained with Dre Ward and them guys, and even Dre Ward is bigger than what he looks in person.
And if and I know that you hang, you see, I do too. You know that Bud is not walking around anything less than 180, 85. Shoot, he might be 190. Yeah. He's not a little guy. And head to head, like pause, Canelo and Bud, there's not much difference.
No, that is true. I will say this. Let me give you my 2 cents. And I'm very disappointed in you, my Latina sister. But I mean, when it comes to the Bud and Canelo thing, I think people are making a big deal of the weight thing. Yes, the weight thing is a big thing. But I think people are downplaying the fact that Canelo does have a high IQ. Canelo is a very skilled fighter. And he's not your typical Mexican to go straight forward. And I feel like people are not talking about that. And listen, I give Bud a lot of credit. I think Bud is very special. But Bud has never seen anything of the likes of a Canelo. On the flip side of that, Canelo has seen the Cottos, the Mayweathers, the Triple Gs. He's seen it all. So to me, I feel like the first couple rounds, I want to see what Crawford, how Crawford responds to Canelo cutting that ring, because I don't believe that Crawford can hurt Canelo. I mean, that's
Well, and when you talk about cutting the ring, so he does cut the ring, but that's not his best attribute. He gets very frustrated. He gets very frustrated when he can't cut the ring.
Yes.
And it's almost like, no mas, what do I do? You know, and Bud has a way of getting into people's minds. And also we've seen that he gets a little bit mentally frustrated when people do that. And Bud does have a way of doing that in his boxing, in his outside of boxing, in the talking, and the trash talking, everything else. So that's what I see would be the biggest problem, is being able to cut Bud off when he's working his angles and doing what he does.
No, that's a good point. My thing too is, though, I don't think he's as fluent or as he's not as mobile as the guys that have given Canelo problems. I believe he's when it comes to his angles, it's more to set up his counter punches and his power punches. I don't believe he's as fluent and moving and running as much. So I don't know if he's going to be able to do that to Canelo. So and when we watched against Madronov, was able to tag him. I don't know if he can take that type of punishment from a Canelo, and it's an interesting fight, though. You know, it's a very interesting fight. But I cannot believe.
Hey, I got $1. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it on. Let's put it on there.
I'm with you. I mean, I can't wait for the fight. I'm glad it's happening. Shout out to Turkey LSC. You know what I mean? Shout out to Turkey LSC for making it happen. He's making a lot of stuff happen. You know, we have the card this weekend that people are saying are calling arguably the greatest card of all time, even though Kid Schofield decided to catch something on the way to Saudi Arabia.
Man, oh man.
Stop the cat.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. Listen, that's the news right now, and it's kind of crazy.
That is the news. It's
kind of crazy because Shakur was kind of calling it. He was like, yo, I feel like he's going to back out. He's been saying it since the beginning. We get there. Eddie Hearn comes out and says, I don't believe he can make the weight. That's why he didn't show up to the initial press or whatnot. Yep. Then all of a sudden, he says he gets sick. Then his father comes out and says that Shakur's masseuse put a cream on him, and he has proof. I'm like, bro, like I'm watching an episode of 24 right now. Like, what's going on? I mean, what's your take on that?
You know, the thing is this. First of all, whenever Eddie said that there was a mandatory Wednesday weigh-in, and he was nervous about that. So, you know, we all know people in boxing. Boxing is a very small circle. Some of my people over there in Saudi Arabia, you know, I was getting wind of things of the weight possibly wasn't going to make the Wednesday mandatory weigh-in that Kid wasn't. And then why, I mean, the question is raised, why would you let Shakur's masseuse touch you? Like, they're the ops right now. You know, not anybody from his camp, his people, anybody should be touching Kid, you know. But the excuses before that, like, he didn't make it to the initial press conference because someone allegedly broke into their Airbnbs. They had to get 3 or 4 different ones, 3 or 4 different rent cars. And they broke into Kid's house, ripped out the signature page of the passport so he couldn't go. You know, there's so, like you said, this is like an episode.
No, I didn't even know.
There is an interview right now with Kid's dad, Mr. Schofield, and he alleges that they had to change Airbnbs. People were breaking in, that he had to get 3 or 4 different rent cars because people were punching holes in them, that someone planted drugs in one of those cars and alleged that he was the one driving it, but he had an expert touch the motor and he could tell that the motor had not been touched within, you know, 2 or 3 hours, so it couldn't have been him. There's, trust me, there's a lot of different layers to the story.
So apparently Newark has came with Shakur to Saudi Arabia. Apparently he bring his homies out there in a private jet. Or I mean, come on, man! Like somebody ripped your. Where do you keep your passport? In the open?
Exactly.
Like what are you talking about? Like I have my passport in a nice hidden section. My wife puts it away because I'm gonna lose it.
Yes.
Come on, man. He ripped. Somebody went and said, "Listen, let's get his passport. Let's rip it."
And let's
Not
just
to.
rip out the first page where the signature is, and you can't go anywhere.
Come on, man. And how are you still able to come? You can't just walk into
Exactly.
the passport office and be like, "Hey, by the way, I need a new passport."
Absolutely not.
Like, come on. This is for real. Like, he's
This is
actually
for
saying
real.
this?
Like, this is for real. Like, I will find the clip and I will send it to you. We were just talking about this last night on the show, and we didn't want to play the video only because I just don't want to give him any more attention than he already has. But I'll find it and I'll send it to you. It's crazy.
No, you have to give that attention because at the end of the day, you got to stop calling this bullshit. Like, listen, Victor Conte of all people, check this out. He comes out and plays, and he says this. He says, look closely to the hospital video, right? He says, oh no, I blocked it. He said, look closely to the posted by Kid Austin. And if you see, you can find an IV bag hanging from a stand with a tube and a needle going into the arm of Schofield Jr. This does not seem to be the case. If Floyd Jr. has been poisoned, it seems that he would be hooked up. I mean, he does bring a good point. I'm gonna play the video.
What's gonna happen in this year? And I am grateful that I made it here. Yesterday's gone.
Why?
I'm an 80s guy. I grew up on G.I. Joe. Knowing is half the battle. So even seeing that is only half of the truth because you're not with them people, blood, man. Cuz is a liar, bro. I'm just sick of the clown talk. Like, when we gonna get to real boxing? Like, bro, listen, man. I see this is what I be telling you. These daddy trainers who be doing whatever they be doing. They never boxed before, bro. You never cut weight. Why you gonna get somebody to cut some weight? Come on, just tell me I'm cat.
My thing is,
That part.
okay, so let's put this into perspective. So this is why I find it hard to believe. Why would you get this fight to then go so hard trolling to then pretty much
Get your
sabotage the
name out here in
fight?
public like you popping like that. Excuse me. Get your name. It's Killertainment sometimes. It's Hamza, bro.
But
Hey,
doing
listen,
all of
man,
this,
he's trying to get his name going out here. Like, yeah. Listen, bro, these guys think they could do what Ryan Garcia be doing. They trying to build status on their name, the crew revenue, casual fans and all of that. But they going about it the wrong way. And it's going to hurt their status and with business acumen and signing contracts because no promoter and nobody's going to want to deal with them. You ruined a lot of money, right? Well, you got to think, as soon as you change the name on the contract, that automatically take viewership down probably by 50 to the 25 to 30%, bro.
I just don't understand the strategy. If he's making this up, how does it benefit you? I haven't seen anything positive about the situation.
Honestly, I have a theory. Okay. So first of all, like was mentioned, the dads, there's some dads that step aside and do what they need to do, but they also hire professionals to do what they can't do. To my knowledge, Kid does not have a nutritionist or anyone helping monitor weight loss, so on and so forth. They probably go the old school way, which we know is very detrimental to your health, the way they used to do it back in the day. But my theory, and this is just me speaking, is that, his dad talks and talks and talks. He wrote a check that his son can't cash. And then he had second thoughts and was like, well, shit, he actually got to fight this guy. There's a lot, I don't know if my son can actually do it. Like, we got to get out of this. And Kid's probably like, let's go. And he's probably like, I don't know. I'm having second thoughts. I'm having doubts. Did I prepare him enough? This is a big stage. We've been wanting this, but is this really what we want? And then I think his dad, he's so egotistical that if his son loses, he's going to worry about what people say about him, not his son. He's created this. I will say I've interviewed Kid twice. Love the Kid. Seen him at other fights. Great guy. Great. But the whole time that I interviewed him, his dad would not let him speak. He wanted to be up in the camera talking the whole time. What is that?
I mean, he's doing his best.
That's that thing where, sorry about that.
No, you go.
Go ahead. I was about to say that's that thing where when you never did something and you want to be the person that done it, so then that's why you trying to get your shine on or to do whatever,
Living
man.
vicariously.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, man,
this
that's
is
when you're not taking no punches.
this is like an impersonation of Bill Haney in a sense, and I'm watching it, and I'm just like,
The first was Kenny Porter.
I mean, but it's the lengths the lengths of that they're going to are crazy. I'm reading my man right here in the chat. He says, I don't know what exactly happened, but I definitely believe Floyd actually was ill. He was getting a career high payday, and
Stop the chat.
hold on, he was in Saudi for 3 weeks. Why would he do all of that just to pull out of the fight?
Wait.
I mean, yeah.
People, I just don't get why people just act like you don't get I ain't trying to cuss. People just act like you don't get your head knocked off in boxing. Like that's why I'm blind in this eye from actually just doing too much boxing, sparring all day and just working. Like when you actually get in the ring and you put on 8 ounces, it's night time, buddy.
You know what's
shaking.
crazy.
He didn't want his son to be shaking.
You know what's crazy to add to that? My biggest concern coming into this fight was, is Kid Austin too green for this fight? And,
Yes.
you know, I questioned it from the jump. Like the last fight, he went to sit down and fell off the stool. His dad didn't really have great advice for him. It wasn't a fighter of Shakur's level, and he still got the Shakur fight trolling. And then even the interviews leading to the fight, he said Shakur hurt him in sparring. And what trainer actually puts that information out there? It was very confusing. And
Absolutely.
again, like to what you said, every interview was his dad's high pitched voice in every interview. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, they're explaining, oh, we're just trolling him, we're just doing this, and I'm just like, bro, like, can we, like, what's actually going on in this situation? And we actually have a text message from somebody in Saudi Arabia that Hamza Troy talks to, and this is what she had to say. She said that Kid Austin and his dad are trash. They claimed Shakur poisoned him and went to the hospital as a last-ditch effort to get out of the fight. Nothing came of the test from the hospital. He just scared and tried to cause all the kind of drama to waste everybody's time. And now apparently he's back at the hotel claiming he's on weight and wondering why he can't fight. Man, what the F? He ain't never gonna get a chance to check off a fight like that again. And to be honest with you, I mean, again, that's Troy's source. She's out to Saudi Arabia. This is what she's saying.
I have some folks out there too, and the thing is this too. Yes, you can get sick from dehydration. You can get sick. You know, you start getting cramped up, and organs start shutting down if you're doing too much. And his dad is no professional. He doesn't know how to have him cut weight. So was he sick? Maybe so. But, you know, he told the commission out there, you know, that he felt he was poisoned and he needed to go to the hospital. And that's why they called it off. People are like, oh, well, the commission called it off. He didn't call it off. Well, damn skippy they did.
Yeah,
because he went, if you're going to go to them and say, I'm sick, I think I was poisoned. Well, of course they are. They don't want a lawsuit if something happens to you.
Thanks. Somebody said Floyd didn't pull out a fight. The powers that be. Yes, because he said he was poisoned. Listen.
Because he said he was poisoned. Exactly.
When somebody says they're poisoned, there's multiple things that can happen. Like it's first of all, it's international. That's one. Something could have been snuck into the country, or somebody. It's
anything.
It's almost attempted murder. Like if you really think about it, when you poison somebody. So if you're claiming somebody's purposely poisoning you, that's a jailable offense. To be honest with you. So you have the boxing. He left him with no other option but to remove him from the fight, which it makes total sense. I can't blame.
Absolutely. I mean, they have to. That is their moral and legal right to do that.
I mean, it's crazy, and I agree with the chat. I don't know how he recovers from this, to be honest with you. And I think him saying what the lady said in the message, she don't think he's ever going to get a big fight again. I don't see how he will, especially his behavior right now. And think about it. Why do you think all of a sudden, no, I can do the fight now? Because the realization has probably hit him. Eddie Hearn has probably spoken to him like, yo,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And his dad even said, oh, if my son recovers excuse me, well, we'll be in the audience to support. I bet you will. Who would not want, tickets out there,
Yeah.
tickets to watch the fight, and a nice little vacation? I bet you will be out there. But if your son is really sick like that, y'all don't need to be out there. You need to be on the way home.
No, absolutely.
We're in a hospital.
It almost seems as if you wanted all of the lights, all of the glamour, all of that
Absolutely.
without the actual sacrifice and the danger of the fight, and that is a scammer.
Absolutely.
You pretty much go to
100%.
like you're out there to draw all this attention. You see what Ryan Garcia has done. You see what Teofimo has done, or even Shakur, or even Gervonta, and you pulled the biggest heist in probably boxing history at this point. I'm just being real. You went and stole money from Turkey Al-Asik.
That part.
It's a heist at this point. I mean, Hamza, you're laughing, but it's true. This is come on, bro. Like, this is absolutely crazy. If all of this is to be proven true, this kid needs to be banned. His dad at least needs to be banned.
He's going to be back in the clubs. He's going to be back in Texas, back at a club fight, starting from scratch. I don't even think Pro Box is going to want to put him on.
I mean, how? Somebody said, why does Floyd Schofield have to be scared? Shakur isn't going to do nothing but pop shot him all night. It's the defeat and how he can embarrass you. And I believe that they don't stand a chance. I mean,
this is where I automatically know off the rippy that people just don't realize in boxing you get your shit knocked off. Like, just that comment alone.
Easy, baby.
People just don't understand. You get hit in your mouth.
It's life or death, literally.
I did not listen, bro. I didn't see Andre Ward hurt people in the gym. I didn't see Andre Ward I didn't see Floyd personally. Like, come on, man.
But you know what?
Like,
I don't even think.
What is he scared of? Hey, bud, he's scared to get his head knocked off. Punched in his nose over and over, in your mouth, getting your nose broke, getting your ribs broke.
I don't even think.
Hit somebody. Stopped.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's more the biggest. Hold on. Hold on. Listen. I think it's the biggest fear of a lot of the American boxers today. Social media. I feel like he feels he's going to be embarrassed, and social media is going to bury him. I don't think it's the broken nose or the ribs. I think it's going to be the Twitter, the Instagram, the whatever.
Where does the embarrassment come from?
The loss.
How do you lose in boxing?
No. I know what you're saying, but I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing for Schofield.
Listen. After the social media is dead and gone, the ass whooping still lives inside of your mind.
Yeah, but
that's what they be saying.
No, absolutely. I agree. But as a fighter, I don't think fighters are scared to get hurt.
No, today and in the climate that we live in today, it's all about social media. It's all about how you look to the public.
Yeah.
It's all about the most likes, the most views.
Bevo don't care.
Bevo
about
doesn't
social
care.
media.
No, he's not American. No, the American. Yeah, he said the American fighters. Yeah.
That shit hurt.
No, 100%.
Listen,
Listen.
the punches hurt.
No, I understand.
That's why
Troy.
social media would be. His wife is on social media running her mouth, Bevo, but Bevo is all he cares about. He didn't care about none of that. It
100%.
never got the light or nothing.
He doesn't
what
care.
got the light is his face,
Bro.
He's at the end of the thing. He said, "I have my hands up." And the man was punching through my guard.
No, 100%. But we're talking about. I said American fighters. Americans better be.
Fighters don't want their ass beat neither.
No, but better be. Lomachenkos, the Bivols, all those European fighters. They don't.
Lomachenko, it was social media or not, he literally retired because he don't want to get knocked out.
I hear you, but in America, these kids put a focus. Listen, to promote the fight, his focus was trolling. What do you think's gonna happen? Getting your ass whipped by Shakur easily, probably losing every round. You're gonna get super trolled.
Listen, you're gonna get physically hurt if you're not ready, and you could potentially never box again.
No, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But I feel like these actions by them was basically to draw attention to the fighter.
Okay, Norbs, I got another example for you.
Yeah.
How long did the Haney pack live and all the shit with social media? That shit gone now.
No, it's
Don't
not.
nobody even thinking about that. But the ass whooping that Devin got is still living in here.
Yeah, but
The pain, the punishment that he took, that lives. We don't even think about the social media shit.
That's not true.
No more.
That's not true.
No,
Because
no, bro. When is the last time somebody talked about what happened on social media?
I just watched. Hold
I
on.
think everybody's worst fear is to get a meme made after them. you either make it or that breaks.
Look, I just watched Ryan Garcia. Hold on.
Getting put to bed.
Listen, I just
physically hurt.
I just watched. This is the era, and let me break it down simple. Jake Paul is relevant. Why? Social media. Ryan Garcia posts the other day a picture of a coffee that says F. Devin Haney. It's playing in their head. These kids are using social media as weapons, period, and they're scared. They're scared.
Nobody's we're not talking about that. We the wave. We not talking about that. What really is living on is when you actually got hit in your mouth and your shit was swollen up.
Yeah.
And then that healed. So now you thinking about your next fight. Like, damn, dog, I took a beat in my last fight.
I think
Am I still gonna be the same? You're not thinking about, damn, then the social media might come into play. But when you're going to a fight, I'm talking from a professional standpoint, you're thinking about, damn, is he really punching?
And I hear you, but I don't think I don't.
Y'all can say what you want, but all right.
I don't think going into this fight he thought that Shakur can really hurt him. He can abuse him, beat him.
It's not about. Listen, bro. He not gonna be able to. He can't even fight. He not sweet.
Listen,
he was gonna get hurt.
I don't think so.
He wasn't in the amateurs. He wasn't good as Shakur in the amateurs, sir.
And I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is,
it's the hurt business.
Listen, it is the hurt business, but at the end of the day, this is a different era of the sport. Whether it's the NFL, whether it's the NBA, everybody has a podcast. Everybody has an opinion. Your tweet will go viral. I mean, I think. Listen, the same attention that they were craving is the same attention that they're scared of now, and they're getting killed for it right now. They're getting killed. For it.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Facts.
Let me give you a history fact.
Yeah.
All Sugar Ray Leonard's amateurs was on national TV.
But they didn't have Instagram.
I think the climate has changed. It's the younger generation. They live to see that their tweet has gone viral, that their clips have gone viral. Like that motivates them every day. They wake up in the morning before they even probably like thank God or whoever they worship. They're getting on social media to see how many likes and shares they got. It's a different time right now.
Listen, I tweeted an interview with me and Iceman Scully, where all I did was question if Gervonta Davis was a Hall of Famer. I literally pressed send. 3 minutes later, Gervonta called me a bitch, all types of shit, all through his personal account. That's how serious social media is to these individuals today.
Facts.
And Schofield knows, what do they call Shakur? Twitterson. Why? Because he's going to be right on Twitter talking this shit.
And he was.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like
all of that's fine, but you still got to get in there. The reason why that's Twitter and all of that is irrelevant because somebody got to get their ass beat.
I'm just saying. Listen, I hear what you're saying, but fighters are trained to understand that that's a possibility. The mental aspect of being embarrassed publicly is weighing on these guys.
When you training somebody, losing is not a possibility. When you're actually a professional and you go into a fight and I'm coaching now, losing is not a possibility because losing could result in death. So that's where technical boxing blood come in and be like, no, you don't even talk about losing. That's not a thing.
I hear you.
Floyd Mayweather.
I hear you, but this is a different era, man. Like, listen,
no, it's not.
It really is.
You still get your ass beat.
I hear you, but
golden era. Everybody's fighting everybody. Win, lose, or draw.
This is the era of mental awareness, right? Everybody wants to be that person on social media. Everybody wants to be that person everybody talks about. That's
why we have that's why we have Jake Paul up there on the big screen making all this money. Social media. Yeah. Social media. That's a prime example.
Yeah. He didn't have an amateur career. His amateur career was on Nickelodeon. I mean, the guy is smart. Listen, these guys, you can tweet especially in boxing, specifically in boxing, right? These guys don't make as much. They're more active on Twitter. You can't troll Eli Manning, but I can troll fucking Gervonta Davis.
Why Jake Paul ain't really fighting nobody then?
You're right, but he's making that money, and that's what
you know why he not fighting nobody? Because the moment he get his ass put to bed, the money is over.
For sure, I agree.
Of the equation.
I agree.
When you get your shit split, that's what thrives on social media.
But that's besides the point.
And that's the point that he doesn't care. That's the point that it's about making the money, being something, being seen on social media. He does not care about fighting anybody for real because he will get hurt. So, and that's the point we're making, that this generation right now is more worried about the views and the money that they can make off of social media. That's the point that I believe that we're making.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Kid Schofield, listen, the internet is a dangerous place. It is a very dangerous place. People underplay it. People want to get famous off of it, but you can get famous for so many different things that aren't positive. And this is something that, listen, this is the biggest card of the year. And SHAKUR may be the most popular fighter on this card. To be honest with you, he's more popular than Better Beef and Bivol, even though they're the main event. Better Beef probably tweeted 4 times in his entire life.
Yeah.
SHAKUR Stevenson is you could probably go right now to Twitter or social media and he's on there. Gervonta's on there.
He was on there
Devin's
yesterday.
on there. These guys can't handle it. And listen, I think that's what it is. But my thing is this: can Schofield bounce back from this? That's the thing. What do you think, Christine? Can he bounce back from what he just did?
I think he's going to have to start over from ground zero, honestly, because the thing is, we started seeing some good things from him, and he was starting to move up a little bit, but he didn't look so hot in his last fight. He did get touched a little bit, which of course you're going to get touched, but you begin to question, okay, is he the real deal or not? And then, his dad's always talking about his power, his power, his power. Well, somebody like a SHAKUR or somebody on high level, they're not going to just stand in front of you to take your power.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to outbox you. And I don't see his feet being that good. His defense is okay. I think he's going to have to start over, honestly. Yeah. I like the person over there that was texting. I think that he blew his big shot. I really do.
Christine, to add to what you said, right, earlier, you said boxing is a very small community where everybody knows each other.
Absolutely.
That also rings true for promoters.
Absolutely.
This promoter's looking like,
they talk, honey.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with him. He's going to go to MVP. Where's he going to go? This is something that may affect them business-wise throughout.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's gonna want to throw money in a furnace and watch it burn? Like, come on.
Yeah, I think that's what they're coming to. That's the realization that they're coming to now. Like, listen, when Devin lost to Ryan, they had purse bids. He couldn't get a purse bid.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, this may be worse at this point.
It's a lot of money, a lot of damn money. But you're gonna get an eager beaver. Promoter that's starting out here in Texas or somewhere in the surrounding area, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I got Kid Austin on my card. That's good."
He's gonna be on Black Prime. He's gonna be on Black Prime versus Adrian Brunner. That's what that was.
He's not about to get no work, boy. They're about to freeze him out. He won this chance with the Turk, so the Turk is the highest form, the highest paydays. So everybody else is down under the Turk now, except for Floyd and
Turkey. I'll see.
Because you ain't gonna. So if you messed that up, then where you gonna go then? Because everybody Turk then bought equity in every company.
I'll tell you this. To add to what you're saying, I think that's a good point, Hamza. Turkey, if he does bring him back, I believe Turkey's going to bring him back to end him.
Absolutely.
Because of the embarrassment.
I mean, we see the smaller promoters do that now. I mean, once we see, somebody kind of flat, and I'm not going to name any names on certain, shows that we've seen, like maybe even last week and weekend before, but, then they match them hard to see, okay, it's either make it or break it time, baby.
Yeah, and I think Turkey is, like, listen, I don't care how much money you have, right? But sometimes it's the principle. And I think Turkey is offended by the situation. Like, it's embarrassing.
Absolutely.
It's embarrassing. I mean,
it's embarrassing.
He came out and complained about, not selling out when he did the LA card with Bud Crawford. So, yeah, he's definitely paying attention to everything that's going down.
He's a businessman.
Yeah.
And we all know people with a lot of money. I mean, which one of them is okay about, like, throwing money in the trash?
Yeah. And that's what the positive was. Yeah. You he had a front end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
of course.
It's definitely going to be an issue moving forward from. But let's move forward to the other guy that was supposed to be fighting him. SHAKUR Stevenson continues to kill the internet, social media wise. And just recently, there's two things that popped up. We're going to talk about this one. Tito Mercado wanted to be the guy to fight Shakur. Puts out a tweet. Shakur says some of the most disgusting shit on social media he probably could have ever said. I think it was a DM where he calls out Mercado's mom, actually, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he didn't get the fight. Did you guys see the messages between Mercado and...
I saw something about that. I did see something about that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this goes to what we were saying, the sensitivity of these fighters.
Yes.
You know...
That mental.
Yeah. And Shakur, listen, he called him out. You know, he says, yo, I can make weight. And Shakur said, I should spit on your mother's vagina or something like that. And I mean, this just shows the pressure. And they go back and forth. Shakur's been giving him light. But it's kind of weird because ever since Mercado was on that card and he called him out, it almost seems as if, why is this man so annoying to Shakur Stevenson?
Well, I think nobody wants an O. I mean, nobody wants a loss on their record. They want to keep that O, you know? And when they feel like somebody is a threat, they're going to try to beat him down on social media, in my opinion. Homeboy, he's no joke. You know, I think he's got some skill.
I mean, look, it's so funny because for some strange reason, this particular individual gets him moving. He gets him talking crazy. Bro, Shakur went to the mother jokes. Yeah. Not even mother jokes. I'll spit on your mother. Like, what? Listen, when you go to the mother situation, you already know it's something.
Next level.
Next levels. And I found it not, but it's crazy because him doing that, you know, Mercado was very smart in, okay, I'm going to put the messages out, and now I'm going to make people want to see the fight. And I posted it.
Absolutely. That is very smart.
Very. And you know, I posted it, and people were like, yo, like, but I thought you want to see big fights. Yes, but this is actually going to become something simply because the way Shakur is annoyed by Tito Mercado right now.
Right.
Troy, what do you think about that?
I do got to do more.
I don't think he does. I think he gets another big win. He may have to get that fight, bro. You know what I mean?
I don't want to really see it, dog. He don't really look hot to me. Like, he's up in the air when he be throwing his shots, and he really need to work. He like to get in there with Shakur, never land a shot, and just be whitewashed and look crazy.
I mean that could be the result, but this is the era again of social media. The fact that this hit the waves is he's kind of inviting them to the fight. Like, okay,
he got our attention.
Yeah, I mean 100%.
That's cool, but at the same time, we just seen what happened when people be running their mouth trying to build their name.
They get a check,
and then you actually get the check that you wanted, and now you in the hospital acting like you hooked up to a tube.
I don't think Shakur can do that. Like, listen, I hear what you're saying. The object of this game, and I think the promotional game back then. Hold on. The promotional game back then was relying on a Don King and all these individuals to put you out there, make you the guy. Tito Mercado is not going to wait for. I think he's with Matchroom, if I'm not mistaken, to build him up. He's going to say, you know what? I'm going to put the effort to make it happen. So now you guys have to book me, and now your biggest star or one of the biggest stars at 135 doesn't like me. That sells fights. Like we were talking about Jake Paul. Who the hell would have wanted to see Jake Paul, Mike Tyson years ago? Nobody.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You're right. You know, and I tell my fighters the same thing. You know, my girl, she's all over social media. Yeah. You got to promote yourself. You can't sit back and wait for your promoter to promote you because they're not doing that. They're only doing the bare minimum. Back in the day, they used to go all out. They're not doing that anymore. Yeah. Now you have to promote yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, there's no more magazines. There's no more print. Ring Magazine just put out the print magazine. Nobody buys print anymore.
No.
Everything is through bing, 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 and that's it. And he's really got the best promotion he could have ever gotten by a response from Shakur.
Absolutely. It's there. It's out there. Absolutely. And now he's going to be on the back of his mind. And now he got my attention because I didn't even know who he was. Yeah. Then I started doing some research, you know, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
No, yeah. He was on an undercard, about a month ago. And after the fight, he pulls right to the ropes and he says he called Shakur a bitch. Shakur could have just sat there. Shakur decided to get up and respond, and basically,
I like it.
Yeah, it made him more popular, and now people want to see him. Regardless, the win wasn't the win he got in the ring. The win was getting Shakur to respond to him.
Look at for instance, y'all are on Twitter. Look at for instance Ray Jackson.
Yep.
The ultimate troll. He gets responses from all these world champions. They play. Who would have known Ray Jackson? Ray Jackson lives in my neighborhood. He's a forklift driver. That is just an example of the power of social media.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
This guy now is like famous, Twitter famous. Got his own hat line.
he got Bud Crawford to call him his son.
Exactly.
Like I seen him going there with Bill Haney. No, it's a fact. I mean, social media.
When Bud came here, we called Ray. We called him. He said, "Oh, I gotta work." he was at my gym. They were ready. He was ready. I was gonna do like a little something funny, but it didn't work out. But yeah, I mean, that's hilarious.
No, absolutely. And again, I now want to see that fight. I know a lot of purists, a lot of people that consider themselves non-casual fans. Or more purist, like, right? They're like, I don't want to see that MERCADO fight, but the people that are going to pay the money want to see that fight, and it might be an easy win for Shakur. It might not be, but now it's become something.
But it also which boxer you can mess with mentally.
Yeah.
We know Shakur, he does get razzed easily, not taking anything away from his skill, but sometimes the mental game is not as strong. He could have just ignored this guy, not said anything, and just let it fly on by. Nobody would ever have given him a second thought, but he's unable to do that right now mentally.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, listen, again, social media, right? We're going to keep going with social media. This is the theme of today's show, apparently, right? What happened yesterday? Shakur Stevenson did an interview recently with, I don't remember who he did it. I want to give the guys credit, but I'm not sure. And in that, he said, and he's been claiming for years, I would not fight my brother. I've known him for 13 years. But if Turkey LLC comes up, right, with that bag, I'm going to fight him. And guess what happens? KEYSHAWN Davis tweets this, send the offer then. Now, 135 has gotten a lot more interesting. It's gotten a lot more interesting. Now KEYSHAWN Davis will fight Shakur Stevenson. KEYSHAWN Davis will fight Shakur Stevenson. I mean, I wanted to see this. I think this is dope.
It is. At the end of the day, these are men, and other men are putting their names in their mouth. So at the end of the day, they're going to have to defend their honor. And I will say, I have been privy and blessed to see the two spar together. And let me tell you, when the time comes, I'll put my dollar on who I think is going to be winning that fight.
Who do you think that is? I mean, I want to see it. I'm not going to say yet. I'm going to wait. The one thing that I really like about KEYSHAWN Davis is the fact that, he delivers when he says he's going to deliver. A lot of people let's go with Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis, you have a coming out show in Philadelphia. You don't have the greatest performance. KEYSHAWN Davis has the same coming out maybe a week later. Virginia KOs the individual in Presley, then follows up with a body shot, and then comes out and says, I'm not going to chase Tank. He's kind of playing mind games with people.
Absolutely.
And now people really want to see the Tank fight. People want to see the Shakur fight. KEYSHAWN Davis he's kind of driving this car pretty smart right now.
Oh, he is. And each fight he has been elevated. He is improving fight by fight. Yeah. He made the greatest decision to go with B&B, he and his brothers, and you can see the growth and the mental and boxing IQ that they have.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's KEYSHAWN, and you know what I love with KEYSHAWN then, and KEYSHAWN may be the next big boxing superstar because he's not. And this is the biggest crutch to me to Shakur Stevenson. It seems like his career is hanging on him getting the Gervonta fight. By KEYSHAWN saying, I'm not going to wait for him. Now he puts himself in position to go to 140, maybe fight before, maybe fight Andy Cruz before that, or just say, let me go get Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. Let me go get those bags instead of pigeonholing myself
Right.
to Javante, and I love what KEYSHAWN is doing.
Me too.
In regards to that, and listen, he may be the next boxing superstar right
I
now,
believe
just
it.
because of the way he's moving.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
I'm impressed by the kid, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like even putting his brothers on, doing his own little promotional thing.
I love that. I have so much respect for that. You know, when Top Rank went to him and wanted to sign him, he said, "Yeah, but we're putting my brothers on."
No facts.
I love it.
No, absolutely. And even when he talks about his brothers, he says his youngest brother's the best one out of all, which is really humble too.
Yeah,
I like
Keon.
that.
He's I've had the pleasure of being able to work with him too in Colorado, and he's gonna be something.
Yeah, no,
He already is.
Listen, this kid is very impressive. I'm not gonna lie, KEYSHAWN
Facts.
Davis. Like I'm at the edge of my seat now for the Javante fight because what he said kind of puts Javante in a situation. Because remember, Javante hinted at calling someone out that didn't.
Yeah.
What he said, he's getting up there, but hasn't won a title yet. There was only one
Right.
person that stuck in everybody's mind, and that was KEYSHAWN Davis.
That's true. That's
now,
true.
After that fight with Lamont Roach, which we all expect Javante to win, everybody's going to have KEYSHAWN Davis on their mind.
You're right. You're right about that.
I mean, I actually want to watch that fight, man.
Me too.
You know, boxing. Listen, social media's done a lot of good things for boxing, a lot of bad things. But I will say this: it does add an extra element to where
Yes.
these boxers are able to control their destiny. And you know, some use it well, KEYSHAWN Davis. Some use it terrible,
Yeah.
Schofield.
Yeah.
You know, so
Horriblest.
And that's the thing. It's like social media can be a great tool, vehicle, but depending on how you use it, maneuver it, it can be your detriment. You know, the biggest mistake that kid made was letting his dad have his password.
yeah,
You know, and you can't be emotional. Like we've seen some of these boxers, and I'm not going to name any names. They're in their feelings and they get on Twitter. No, step back, take a deep breath, think about what you're doing, and then tweet.
no, absolutely. And you know what it is though too. And I'm gonna bring up a point. I think people, and it's a different sport, right? But, for instance, so we were talking about social media, right? I don't know if you guys follow football. There's a kid that was really popular at a high school, right? At a junior high school, named Arch Manning, right? Arch Manning is the nephew of Eli Manning and Peyton Manning, right? Now, he could have easily just went social media crazy, but his family was like, "You're not going to have an account." They literally denied him an account until he ended up getting to the money and he was mature enough, right? And that's a different approach in boxing. A lot of
yeah.
guys don't have that type of stuff, and they don't understand how to use it, and they're not mature enough. And it's very telling because now this kid is set to be the #1 pick probably next year in the draft, and he never had the social media. They trained, they taught him well, and again, like you said in boxing, a lot of these guys do need better media training.
Absolutely. And that is what is lacking, the media training. You're absolutely right. You have these PR people, but unless you listen to them or they're media trained, it's a new thing. Even though social media has been around for a minute, it's still new. It's fairly new. I know we up in Colorado, we had media training for all the athletes, Team USA, the Olympians.
Yeah.
We had media training because a lot of them would get up there and put their foot in their mouth, you know.
No, absolutely. And of course, you were an athlete and stuff like that, so you know better than everybody. But, you know, man, I don't know, man. It does excite me because it allows us to have our shows. It allows us to speak freely without being censored or anything like that. It gives us a voice. Before you had to listen to Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant and certain individuals, and that was the end-all, be-all. Now we have yourself, you have Hamza, you have the boxing voice, you have a lot of different entities that now are allowed to go out there and not only benefit and make money off of the situation, have an actual voice and an actual influence on what can happen because Turkey Al-Asiki is on the internet. He's watching.
Absolutely.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he signed, what's his name? He's funny as hell. He's on the Zone now. What the hell is his name? Anyways, but a lot of these guys are getting signed. He's always been the cheesehead. He's funny. Something
Showbiz.
Showbiz.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Showbiz. So a lot of these guys get opportunities, and it's super dope. You know what I
It
mean?
is super dope. Good for them. And if they weren't on social media, they wouldn't even be seen. Nobody would know who they are.
No, and it's funny, like when you bring up Ray Jackson, because I was like, who the hell is Ray Jackson? Like, I would take his tweets, I'd post them like, who is this guy that
Yeah.
everyone seems to talk to? Everybody cusses him out,
Yeah.
jokes with him. I'm like, this guy's the
A professional
man.
troll.
Yeah, I'm thinking
He's
this
a
guy
nice
was
guy, though. He is a
finance.
nice guy.
I mean, I would love to meet the guy.
Yeah.
Let's say, what are the chances? Let's go back to the Shakur versus KEYSHAWN Davis. What do you think are the chances of that fight actually happening now?
You know, I think it will happen. I mean, who doesn't love money? You know what I mean? And the way that it started out, where they said that they were not going to fight each other. You know, KEYSHAWN said he would not fight his brother. He helped him through his mental
illness,
issues.
yeah.
And then, you know, it was Andre Ward that, you know, kind of said, hey, you know, Shakur, but it's going to happen. Like at the end of the day, you know. And then there's been stories of brothers or guys fighting each other. Said they were brothers and they help each other. Like let's make that money. You know, I think it's going to happen. I think maybe in the next 2 years, I think the buildup has started, and I think it will happen. I do.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think as fast as KEYSHAWN responded, there's definitely been rumblings within the camps. With both. Listen, and I get it. He was there for you as a kid. There's always going to be that love, but
Sure.
you know, but you know, things change. It's business at this point, and you're in the sport of hurt, and you're both at a 135. When you go to 140, he's going to be there. You guys gonna. It's inevitable at this point. You aren't the Klitschko's. You're not. You're not blood. You know what I mean? And this could be Shakur's biggest fight ever.
Absolutely. And just even as a man, I mean, even as a woman, like somebody puts, you know, your name in their mouth and it's like, whoa, okay. I didn't think we were going to go there, but we're going there.
No,
you know,
that's a good point because
there's a little bit of that too.
yeah, because he responded fast, send the contract. Like he didn't even
Fast. That's my point. Like
you
bump me. Okay. I'm coming back. What?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he said send the offer then, like almost like, damn, bro, like 18. Listen, it was 18 hours later. He retweeted. I guess he caught wind of whatever.
Yeah,
and he just
somebody
sent
sent
over.
it to him.
Yeah, he just sent over. He might have been offended. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we gotta understand too. These guys come from a different world, and they're men at the end of the day, and they're younger men, and when somebody calls them out or says whatever, they're gonna respond. If he didn't respond to that, he's thinking, how am I gonna look on social media not responding to what Shakur said?
No, absolutely. And again, the interesting stuff is that when they do sign, I feel like there's gonna be a level of, you know, we've been through something. Is some of that stuff gonna come up? I think the unknowing of what can possibly come up can make this fight even more personal, which can make it a lot better.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, I want to see it. I definitely, you know, KEYSHAWN is setting himself up for a lot of big fights. I think the next target. Listen, think about this. He set himself up with a history with Gervonta, right? Teofimo by pulling up with the book, Shakur now, and I guarantee you next is going to be Ryan Garcia. So he's going to set him up with 4 huge fights. I believe Ryan is going to be the next target. And, you know, listen, when you got 4 guys that are willing to fight you that are that big, he's about to get a serious bag.
Something else I'll just touch on real quick with Shakur and KEYSHAWN's situation. So it's even bigger than they two because, you know, I told you, you know, the boxing world is really small. The circles are small and tight. Mm-hmm. Well, they float in the same circles. They work with a lot of the same people. They hang out at the same, you know, cookouts, and there's a lot of like love and emotion amongst not just them and the family, but the boxing family and world. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, and I do believe that it will play out.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to happen. I don't know. I don't want to. I got to see a little more KEYSHAWN before I give my decision on who I believe will win that fight. But I think KEYSHAWN was definitely hurt by that tweet, by the interview.
Yes, absolutely.
I think he thought they were a lot closer.
Yes.
And now I think there might be some distance that grows apart between them.
I can see it. I can see it.
But I definitely am interested. And again, I love what this kid is doing, man. I don't care what anybody says. I love how Keyshawn's moving. He wants the belts. I think he wants to try. He's going to try to unify 135. If he doesn't, he's going to 140.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I'm going to say. Hamza, I mean, what's up? What are you thinking? Who do you got winning if KEYSHAWN want to fight Shakur right now?
I will have to see more of KEYSHAWN, but you just saying send the offer because of Shakur said, even though Shakur said he don't see himself fighting him, and KEYSHAWN said he about to go to 140 and he only fight Andy Cruz if he go when he leave, because remember he said that the other day.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't leave 135 without fighting Andy Cruz.
Fighting Andy Cruz, so it's just like he about to go to 140, but at the same time, if they both are close as they say they are, and they've already sparred, I think, well, knowingly, you would say, both of them would say send the offer to see what's on the table. Like, see what's on the table first.
It's gonna be a bag.
See what's on the table. You see what I'm saying? Like, before we even think about this, let's both just tell somebody to send the offer and see what we can make amongst ourselves.
I hear you. I don't think it was. I honestly believe, in my opinion, that I think KEYSHAWN really believed that they were bigger than fighting each other. Like
because Shakur really like helped him change his life. So that was more of like an emotional, personal thing. Like, you helped me through this, and even more serious than maybe what Shakur thought he did. And honestly, I think Shakur just answered off the cuff because he was presented the question. He had already spoken on it. He probably didn't think anybody was going to talk about it again. And then Andre brings it up. And then Andre's kind of like, hey, but this is, well, okay, yeah, we'll send the contract, and then he's probably like, oh shit, like, what's this going to do?
Absolutely. And, they say no amount of money should be able to tear up family. And I think the fact that he said that send the offer, that means, oh no, there is an amount of money. There is a dollar amount.
There is a dollar amount,
that would make me want to hurt you. And I think, especially think about it, KEYSHAWN has been through a lot of emotional stuff mentally. That's going to live in his head for a while.
Absolutely it is. Can he trust Shakur with other things beyond this?
Yeah.
In his mind.
Yeah, I think, and I believe Turkey Al-Asik is out there right now. I think he's looking at
licking his chops.
Yeah, he's like, oh, there's another one. There's another big matchup that we can make.
Yes, sir.
I can almost guarantee you that KEYSHAWN Davis and Turkey Al-Asik are going to have a conversation soon, and I think it's going to be about Shakur. Because again, you got to remember too, Shakur needs a big fight. He can't get the fight that he's been looking for. The only person that he seems to want to fight is Gervonta. And this is a big fight.
Yeah.
Huge fight.
You're right.
But you said 100 M's? No way. He's not getting nowhere near 100 M's to fight KEYSHAWN Davis. You're crazy. But I was reading the chat.
That's life changing in his mind. So that's what I know. That's what they gonna try to say. So that's why they never gonna fight, because they gonna both ask for 100.
They know they can't. They'll fight for.
I know what you're saying, but that's how.
Canelo make it 120.
Yeah.
That's how you stop the talk.
I'm gonna say this.
Be like, hey, blood, give me 100.
Nah, it's not gonna happen.
And then they'd be like, well, we can't give you 100. Well, then we can't fight.
I believe this. This is the number I believe is gonna hit. I believe that Turkey Al-Asik is gonna make an offer around 10 million, and they're gonna take it.
Oh, that ain't no bird.
That's what? He's making 3 million a fight.
Yeah.
KEYSHAWN's probably not even touched that yet.
Right.
Bro, they're not worth 100 million. They're not Canelo.
Turned down 15 million off of the deals with Top Rank.
Bro, you gotta remember, boxing. It's not his brother.
I know what you're saying, bro, but the weight of 5 fights for 15 million and fighting somebody you're close to is that weighs more.
Bro, it's
I
triple
think
the
that
amount
that,
of
that
weight.
might have sparked something where he may not feel as close anymore, and he might really want to take the fight now.
Bro, there's no way they're getting more than Errol Spence and
There's no way. And
and
close to Canelo.
Yeah, no
There's
way.
no way.
It's not this.
I
They don't
didn't
even
say
draw
we're
that.
getting it.
No, I think the fight's gonna happen, and it's gonna
So
happen at
it's
about 10
like-
million each.
So
That's life changing money. 10 million each.
that ain't no life changing money in this market.
In this market, do you know that boxing is the lowest paid sport in the world?
Give me 100,000. I'm good.
Listen, brother, we just had a conversation yesterday about Gervonta not knowing what to do with his money.
Okay, what does that have to do with KEYSHAWN?
All these guys is the same, bro.
It's not true.
Yeah, bro, listen, man, these guys don't know what to do.
I think
with
Bud
their
Crawford's one
money,
of the most brilliant men with his money.
Yeah, the Bud Crawford ain't
Absolutely.
in his 20s.
I get it, but
He's 37.
but he's still brilliant. with
Raheem
his money.
Gonzalez on Team USA. He's also an investor. Like these kids and these young ones, they're getting smarter. They're surrounding themselves with people that are helping them out. Thank God, because
Getting smarter and then being given 10 million.
Listen, we're not talking about. Listen, everybody. There's rumors about Gervonta not being the sharpest tool in the shed, but that just shows. But that's him. I don't think that. I think KEYSHAWN, calling himself the businessman, understands,
he
or at
does.
least is trying to.
He's being
understand business.
mentored by Bud and by the people around him.
I
Absolutely.
get that. That's fine. But that's what I'm telling you. If he's smart as he say he is, he gonna be asking for way more money so you can shut the talk down.
Bro, there is
all I'm
no
saying.
way. There's
I
0%
didn't say
chance.
he was going to get the money. I'm saying they're gonna throw out an impossible number
No, they
to
won't.
shut down the talk.
I don't think
because
so.
they really not gonna want to fight each other. That's
I
all
don't,
I'm saying.
I don't agree with that. I think KEYSHAWN sees the opportunity to have a pay-per-view fight, something that Shakur has never done, right? Nor has KEYSHAWN, and possibly make a lot of backup money. But not only that, the possibilities of future big fights, because now you are a pay-per-view fighter, there's millions more to make. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think he sees the possibility
without
of
fighting
that.
KEYSHAWN.
So,
He's gonna get that without fighting KEYSHAWN.
has he gotten it now?
No, but he's gonna get it. I mean, he's
Bro, he's
about to
27
fight,
years old. Has not fought on pay-per-view. He's not a
I
pay-per-view
mean,
star,
a lot of these guys is not a pay-per-view.
but he wants to
stars.
be a pay-per-view star. How do you do it? By getting on pay-per-view.
Having the asses in the seats and actually being able to pull that off is two different things.
100%, but there's not a bigger fight than Gervonta. The second one would be KEYSHAWN. Am I bugging? Or Ryan Garcia.
Once again, for what you're saying, by your logic, not my logic,
Yeah.
that's where they're gonna ask for astronomical numbers, so you could just throw that aside.
Yeah, I don't agree,
I'm gonna
but
just keep saying that. I know you don't believe it or know that,
don't.
but unless you giving them crazy, it's just like Gervonta asking the Turk. First it was Ferraris, then it was, hey man, you want me to fight him? It's 150 M's. You throwing money around, saying that these guys are the faces and this and that, but I already make more than them. So you gonna have to come with 100. So when you put KEYSHAWN, who they already saying that they close, that's a heavy fight. So he's saying for that amount of money to put our family in that turmoil, that's gonna cost. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Well, but that's guessing that there already is in turmoil. That's just the facts. But Christine, I definitely appreciate you. I love having you. We got to do this again. girl.
Thank you.
are
Please.
fire.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for having me, and thanks to everybody in the chat.
Nah, we got to do this again, man. I'm definitely, let's cross promote whatever you need to do. I'm with it.
Love it.
On that note, let everybody know where they can find you. We gonna get out of here.
Absolutely. So my YouTube channel is In the Ring with Christine. Women Crushing It Wednesdays. I have two other beautiful ladies with me. We're talking all boxing. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You can follow me on all social media platforms. In the Ring with Christine. Appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hamza, let them know where they can find you. We out of here, man.
Man, you can find me at Killertainment on Instagram, 1L. You can find me at Cuerno de Chivo. Or you can find me on YouTube, Troy Killertainment King. We working.
My
Or you
guy.
can find me at Benjamin Boxing.
All right, my guy.
Yeah.
We're about to wrap it up. Somebody said they're not fighting for less than 50 M's. Nevs Nation, you're crazy. It's your boy Norbs. We are out of here.